So, are you ready? Here are the rules for the Strava group, okay? Here are the rules for the Strava group. Any shit you want to talk about, right? Like, you know, that you thrashed somebody on your bike the other day, or that you think one member is a cunt, right? Do it in this chat. Do it in this chat, yeah? Don't post it in the Strava group. Do it in this chat. Because if you do it in this chat, then we can all talk about it. We can have a laugh, right? Okay? Because if you start like posting stuff like that in the Strava group, then people are going to get their knickers in a twist. Like Peter's getting annoyed that people are getting, you know, notifications. And Peter, it's not spam. It's technically not spam, but I know what you're saying. But you know, and stuff for the Strava group is like useful stuff, like the list of good suppliers, which can be a reference. Okay, anything that's like involves, you know, us taking the piss out of someone or you lot arguing with each other, do it in the chat, yeah, because then we can all get involved. It's more of a laugh. Does that all right? Yeah, is that all right? Another thing, next thing, don't fucking fight with each other. Yeah, we're all supposed to be. We're all a fucking team. Yeah, we're all on the same side. Yeah, don't like lay into each other. Don't start calling each other fucking fat cunts or whatever. Yeah, you know, like, I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. Don't argue with each other. Yeah, like we're all supposed to be mates. That's the point. Yeah, like we're all together, man. Yeah. So yeah, if someone post a link for Alexander if he wants to join. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So don't if you want to chat about stuff, just stick it in here. Do it in this chat, and then if you want to lay into each other, do it in this chat. We can all join in the fun, and we'll use that. We'll use the Strava group to. We'll use the Strava group for lists and stuff. You can add Simon if you want, mate. Yeah. I don't think he'll stick around very long. Yeah. So that was that really. So I noticed that Canon are pushing the discs loads and phasing out rim, and Strava group, you got to start behaving yourselves. Next thing, I wanted to do a little talk through of my little ride I went on yesterday. My little ride and I went on yesterday. All right. So have a look at this. I went out on a little jaunt yesterday by myself. All right, solo, because that's all I do nowadays. All right, Louis, see you later, mate. So I'm gonna talk you through the ride and tell you all the funny shit that happened to me on the way. So let me know if you can see what I'm seeing on the screen. If that Strava page is loaded up. You got it? You got it? You got it? Can you see it? Yep. 153 kilometers. No, Hamby, it's not. It's 153.5. Come on. So, my little ride yesterday. I'll tell you. I'll give you a little story. It's all blurry, is it? You gotta go high res then, mate. You gotta go high res, Desmond. So, I woke up at about 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. Well, yeah. I woke up about 8 o'clock in the morning in my bed. Yep. And went, what should I do today? And obviously I've been feeling a little bit under the weather because my body's been a bit fucked up. But I thought I'd go out anyway. So I looked at the weather report, looked at the wind report, right? Because around this area is just like fucking wind central. It's horrific. So whichever direction the wind goes in, you have to ride that way because there's no way you're going to do a big ride against the wind. It's impossible, right? So luckily it was heading north. The wind was going north. I'm like, right. So I went out. So let me just talk you through this hilarious route that I have to endure to get to the mountains. So I'm zooming in. So I live around here. So this route here, this little red bit that goes across to the river, that's just full of trucks. If anyone tells you the Japanese are polite people, they're complete liars. All right? They're complete liars. Hello to everyone who's working at Hambini's work. All right? Don't let him slack off too much. How'd you come out? Well, Prats, mate. That'll be the end of the tale. That'll be the end of the tale. It's exciting, I tell you. So anyway, right, I rode across here, this little jiggly jaggedy red bit. Yeah. And managed to escape being mown down by the worst drivers in the world, driving trucks. They all run red lights here. They all run red lights. So you see that road there, right? See that road there that's got a number 4 on it? Can you see that? That is a big expressway that's just for trucks, yeah? When you stop and wait, the lights there, the lights will go red, your lights will be green, but the trucks will just keep caning it through the red lights until they think they've, taken the piss a bit, and then they will start to slow down. They run red lights. It's a national driving trait. So again, anyone who tells you the Japanese are polite people, absolutely no, right? Their true character comes out when they're sitting in cars. They just drive like fucking maniacs. If you go across the light when it's green, when it's just turned green, you'll get killed, right? You will get killed, okay? That's what they're like. So then I ride across here. What's the big vehicle policy? What do you mean, like big vehicles have priority? Probably not legally, but no. If you're involved in a crash of any kind in Japan, they'll always try and pin a bit of blame on each person, no matter what happens. If I get hit by a truck when I'm going across a green light and the truck goes through a red, it'll be like 70-30 in the truck in my favour. It's just absolute bullshit, right? It's awful. It's really an awful, not a good place for driving and just generally being near cars. Awful. So yeah, I rode down here, got onto the river. Once you get on the river though, bam, you're free, right? Because there's no cars on there. So I got on this river and there was a nice tailwind here. I'm like, fuck yeah. So I just sat on that, cruising along at like, what was I doing? 33 kilometers per hour. This segment here, which I've called Xenon 2 Mega Blast for any Amiga boys. Let's just have a look. Who's got the KOM? Oh, it's me. 54.5 kilometers per hour KOM there. That's my first little one that I got a couple of years back. No cunts at that. Right. Some guy came along trying it, but nah. Next one. Once you get on the rivers, you have to just sort of sit on the river and just go up and cruise up. Now, more bullshit about riding in Japan. These rivers are used as areas of fake construction. So what they'll do is, to keep the economy going over, they'll just employ groups of just scum builders to just pick up piles of dirt from one side of the river and just carry it to the other side, or like lift up the tarmac on the surface and put another load of shit tarmac down. All right, see you later, Alexander. And then they have little teams of old men who just like wave these little glowing batons to like direct traffic, even though there's nothing on there, but they just sort of get in your fucking way. Absolutely fucking bullshit. So at the moment they're doing that building work there. So what would ordinarily be just a perfectly straight, flat, clear river path is just blocked by these dickhead builders. They're all smoking fags and just milling in your way, and they think they're doing their job if they get in your way, tell you to slow down and then let you go through again, but there's nothing there. It's pointless. It's completely pointless. Yeah, Peter, you can Google it, man. You can Google it. You can check out fake jobs. So I had to go through there. Excuse me. At the moment, the building work is so bad at this little place called Golka, I've actually had to redirect my journey to go across the river and then onto the other side. So once I get across here, there's no building work on this side, on the larger river. So then I just started flying north here. Now, at this point, the tailwind obviously was going straight north. So this became a bit of a side wind at this point, which is all right. Wasn't too bad. Then it became a tailwind again around here, and that was good. I stopped. Where did I stop? Oh, actually, just a little bit back here. I stopped here because they've got this little. Good thing about Japan is they have loads of little parks, right? Loads and loads of little parks. All these little green bits you can see are little parks, and in those parks they generally have like a water fountain, and it's always quite clean. So you can go and get free water, and they have like vending machines and stuff. So that's a good thing about riding here. So you can just stop there, and there's usually some people riding, but not a lot. There's a couple of people there today, so I said hello. That's where I saw that Fred with his with his giant TCR carbon with a stand on it, smoking a cigarette, sat down, fucking knob. So yeah, I got on that river. Is the area around the river densely populated? It's not like Tokyo. It's not like the middle of Tokyo. This area I'm showing you here is not. It's not Tokyo. The whole of Japan is Fredsville, mate. The whole of Japan's Fredsville. All the KOMs are like under 300 watts. It's fucking lame. So yeah, I started cruising north. This point here, you do get a couple of guys who are there's a couple of shredders who live up here. I know them all. They're all right. There's like 3 or 4 of them who are pretty hard. But everyone else is just a Fred. So there was one guy around this point who thought he was hard. He got right up behind me. They I don't know what it's like where you are, but people just latch on your wheelie. They try and catch onto your wheelie without saying anything. You turn around and like look at them. They just blank stare because they're just fucking dicks. So I just I'd wasted him up there. Got to this point. This little heart-shaped lake. The Japanese have got David. It's a good question. They generally have bikes that are far, far better than their ability. It's when classic. Absolutely classic. Like, it's the same when they go skiing. See all the Japanese on ski slopes with like the best fucking Salomon brand new skis doing snow plows. It's all that shit. Wheel suckers, yeah, mate. I just best way to deal with a wheel sucker is just to 400 watts for 100 meters, and then no cunt can hold your wheel. Most popular brand in Japan for frames, probably Pinarello or Giant or just Western brands. Your 2 Aero, perhaps. That's the thing. So yeah, once I got to that lake, usually I sort of go round around this lake. They have a national time trial here, which is quite good. And then, as I said before, they'll always have some sort of third-rate foreigner from Europe who comes along and just smokes everyone. Well, if you're not strong enough, all right, Chianti. Well, if you're not strong enough to burn them off, then all you do is just slam your brakes on and just make them, or just start burning them out. Or turn around and just say fuck off. Right? Just turn around and fucking lay into him. Just shout at him. Right? Is SRAM haram? I don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah, so once you get past this lake, it becomes very bleak. It's just, this is all, it's just like flat, shitty. I mean, you could be in China. It's just fucking crap. Like Tokyo. This area down here, where we can zoom out. This area of Tokyo is just like a load of, it's like Manhattan cosplay, isn't it? They're just cosplaying being Manhattanites. But then once you get past here, it's just like it's like shit, South Korea. It's like China. It's just grim, grey, trucks everywhere. It's fucked. But then once you get past this horrible area here and through here, then your little climbs start. So this was the first climb of the day. This little tiny little niblet here. All right, where was that? Let me get it. Yeah, here we go. This is the one. All right. So at the moment I'm 4th on that. This guy, Strava Athlete, he doctors his Strava files. So don't believe any of his KOMs. But these other guys here, that says Hamichi, and that says, I don't know what that says. We're all about the same level at climbing, so that's realistic. The analysis bit, yeah, I will do once I've gone through it all. This is not his worst offence, but I will do in a minute. So my best time is, I don't want to flag it. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care about that. But the thing is, though, with him, he actually is a really strong rider, but he's really strong and he fucking does all that doctoring crap. So like you see his analysis and it's just like he's missing a corner on some switchbacks and all that kind of thing. So I did 8 minutes 59 on that little climb. My best is 7:17, so I was taking it really, really easy. Just because I told you my body's a bit knackered. So anyway, yeah. Then once I've done that little climb, it's back down to reality again. You know, you're just sort of going through more shitty town with trucks that come past you like a millimetre behind, even though they've got the whole road to go past. Absolutely crap. Is there a nemesis in Japan? What do you mean, David? Wow, yeah. No, it's not. William, it's not someone who's deleted their account. That is actually his name. I think he's chosen to be called Strava Athlete on there, yeah. Because, yeah, anyway. So, no, yeah. But once you get through here and you start cruising up here, this is when it starts to get good. All right. So all this mountainous area in green, this is good to ride. This is excellent, right? So it starts to sort of gradually climb up here, and this is like the last. Here is the last bit where you can get food, like just where my little blue dot is now. So I had to stop there and get some blood of cakes in my pocket and that, because after that you just got another 100k basically of mountains. There's nothing there's no way to get food. So then I sort of started to climb up gradually, and that was all right. That was pretty good. And then as soon as you turn right, so I'll zoom in here. As soon as you turn right off this road, that's the start of the climbs, right? So then this first climb is pretty nice. It sort of winds up, but then like the surface was a bit wet, so I couldn't really go for it. What did I do? What did I do on that? What was my time? I didn't do very well on that, because I was still just taking it easy. Yeah, this one here, I've never really gone for it on this one. I've 13 minutes. Yeah, look at that. The KOM 6 minutes. I've never given that a decent go. I've always just sort of, because whenever I've gone up this climb, it's always been like heading out to like more massive stuff here. So I've never gone for it. Desmond, you drove through here yesterday. Do you live here? Do you live around here, Desmond? Yeah, I've never gone hard on this ever. Well, if I go back and do it, I'll KOM it, because these top 3-4 guys, I know I can beat them. Yeah, and then I just carried on up into the getting towards the bigger stuff. And then once you get out here, right? Once you get around this corner here, this is just properly just mountainous. There's nothing really here, and it seems like the people change as well. Like the people become really sort of countrified, sort of countryside people, and they actually get a lot more. They actually get a lot more friendly, and less sort of the drivers become a lot more considerate. So like they give you more space and stuff when you're out in the mountains. Like, so actually once you get out the city and that, it's a lot nicer. So then I did this little second climb. Again, I was taking it easy because my leg was my hip was like still well tight, and I didn't want to go for it because the doctor said don't go hard. Rocky Bar, no, absolutely not. No, they don't. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And if you do get hit, everyone goes into robot mode. Then you don't get treated like a human. Then on this climb here, right? I for some reason my body seemed to wake up a little bit, right? My body seemed to wake up, and I got second on it on this big climb. So yeah, I think that me taking it easy on these earlier climbs kind of like started to rehabilitate my body pretty well. So then on this larger climb here, which was, how big was it? Fairly big. I got second, and I was less than a minute behind this guy Adam, and he's a properly good climber. So that means that I'm a properly good climber as well. So yeah, that was good. But this climb is an absolute bastard, right? It's so hard. So actually, the hard bit, the 7 kilometers, like the just this bit at the top, the actual steep bit, like it says it's only like, what is it, 8% average. I mean, it's 8% for 7 kilometers, but right, the surface is just, it's messed up, man, and it's like really. Like, it's not like smooth concrete. You have to like climb across sort of rocky areas, and it's really just like, I think it says it's 8% average, but it's not just 8. It's like little flat bits, and then like loads of digs of sort of 16%. Just keeps going up and up and up. So yeah, pretty hard climb. I've only done this about, I think it's 6 times, but for some reason I've managed to do it pretty well yesterday. Yeah, so I was fairly happy with that. 29 minutes, under 30 minutes for that is I reckon that's pretty good. That's pretty good. there's a lot of, well, I should probably make a video, shouldn't I? What's the difference between riding in the UK and Japan? But I could summarize it for you. There's a lot of conveniences of riding in Japan. Like for example, convenience stores, 24-hour convenience stores, and you can get any food, and you can get loads of cakes and sugary things. There's toilets and all that kind of stuff. So they're everywhere, man, everywhere. Apart from like deep in the mountains. So that's excellent. Other stuff that's good in Japan, like you can leave your bike outside a shop, and 99% of the time it's going to be there when you come out, even if it's like a busy area. So people don't nick stuff in the street. I've caught someone trying to nick my bike once, but they won't be doing it again. So compared to the UK, it's a hell of a lot safer in terms of leaving your bike around. Drivers in Japan are worse than the UK though, definitely. The trucks are worse, and if you do get hit, the process of getting dealt with in hospital is disastrous. The UK hospital service is phenomenally good, excellent, and not free, but it's National Health Service. Whereas in Japan, it's really bad, the healthcare compared to the UK, and more expensive, because you've got to pay for 30% of it. It's not as good, man. Road surfaces in Japan are better. The general scene, the riding scene in Japan is nothing compared to the UK. The UK riding scene is huge and vast, and you can go out and just meet people and talk to them. Whereas in Japan, they don't really talk to each other. There's no real scene here. Like you look at everyone's Strava, they're just riding by themselves, and plus there's a lot more Freds, a hell of a lot more Freds in Japan. But whatever. It's not crap. Definitely not. Mountains as well in Japan are much better. Well, because there are mountains, right? UK, there's no real climbs, not compared to Japan. Like I'm quietly confident that if I do say like 3 or 4 months of hard climbing training on top of what I've done already in my life, I could go back to the UK and be an absolute shredder on the climbs. Probably wouldn't be that good probably wouldn't be able to keep up on the TTs because whatever. Racing in Japan, I'm not the guy to ask. I don't do it. But yeah, who is the rider you always like beating in times? David, myself. I like to beat myself. I don't really care about anybody else. If I can beat myself, man, that's it. Is a Fred a crap rider? Matt, no, a Fred. Well, can somebody fill Matt in? I think it relates to Fred Flintstone, doesn't it? Peddling his little rocky car around. I think it just means that a sort of a fat guy who has a really expensive bike and doesn't ever push himself and just rides around just being shit. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Habini. That's quite a long answer. So anyway, yeah, I did this climb. Fat smoker on an F10. Yeah. What Pratt said. Fat smoker on an F10 with 1 centimetre of seat post showing. Yeah, stand on his F10. Talks more about his bike than riding it. Seems to sort of think that cycling is all about going down a coffee shop and sort of going, "Ooh, look at your bike. Oh, your bike's really good, man." Yeah, and just talking about the bike and then never actually going riding. So yeah, this climb's pretty good. Like, I didn't look at my power meter the whole way up because I was like, because as soon as I start looking at my power meter when I'm doing a climb, I'm like, that's it, I'm on it. I'm like, right, I've got to keep above like 3, whatever it is, like whatever my thing is. So because I've been told to sort of chill out a bit, I didn't look at it. But when I didn't look at it, I got to the top and I came second on it. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Jerva98, what are you talking about? A way for a group to distinguish itself from others and to make oneself feel superior. What are you referring to? Yeah. Yeah, so that was that really. That was that. Went up that climb. Halfway, I sort of got halfway up, and I don't know what you look guys are like. Have you ever done really, really sort of quite hard climbing? I don't think that is, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, Jerva. Riding slow is harder. It's not, mate. It's harder to like not. Yeah. 2.5. I told you, mate. 2.59 average. Yeah, I told you it is. I told you that's not. I told you I was going easy. I wasn't going hard. Yeah. I've told you. I told you I'm on Fred riding. Yeah. But again, this sort of backs up my point that the riders in Japan are not at the same level as in Europe. Because a climb like this, to get second place with 259 watts average, I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like if this was a climb in Europe, you'd be looking at sort of 450 for the KOM, right? Not 259 for 1 minute off second place. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, exactly. 3 watts per kilo. It's not for me, mate. How much is it? It's not 3 watts per kilo for me, but I know what you're saying. What is it? 259. 4. It's 4 watts per kilo. It's 4 watts per kilo, basically, right? So you shouldn't be getting second place on big climbs on Strava with 4 watts per kilo. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, Hambini. Yeah. No, Hambini, you're not hijacking my video at all, mate. Everyone go and watch Hambini's video. He's one of us. He's a good guy. And thank you again, Hambini, for sorting out that geezer's money. Yeah, man. Prats. All right, okay, man. Yeah. Well, yeah, all right. But what's your point, man? Are you saying that I'm slow as fuck? But I think like yeah, but the climbs, the standard in Japan is just not as high as Europe, right? That's my point. Yeah, I'd hardly say it's slow as fuck. Perhaps you sort of. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. There you go then. Perhaps. Yeah. Well, they are, aren't they? They are. They aren't as good. They aren't as good. So yeah, that was my ride anyway. And then after that, I just did a massive descent, which is good. This descent's fucking ace. But the thing is, that it was a bit annoying because there was like a headwind. There was a headwind all the way down here. So I sort of, even though I was freewheeling in aero, I was only getting to like 60, which is a bit, it's a bit annoying. I've had a tailwind on here before, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Griffs, there you go. Yeah, exactly. 350 watts to KOM in the local climbs. Exactly. David, they're getting better now. Of course they're not. But even if they are, so are the Europeans, mate. The Europeans are getting better every day, man. They're you know, they're just not as good. They're just not as fast. It's just as simple as that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go, so tomorrow I'm going to go out and go in this area again, probably if I wake up feeling all right. Downhill KOMs. What's the point? It's dangerous, isn't it? It's too dangerous. I mean, an uphill KOM is far more of an achievement than a downhill KOM. A downhill KOM is just like how much you want to fucking risk your life. Right, and other people's lives if they're involved in a stack that you cause by going too fast. But an uphill KOM, I mean, you're never going to go above 30 kilometers per hour, are you really? Yeah, of course it will. Yeah, of course it will. Yeah, exactly, Prats. Yeah, I mean, you know, fair enough. If you want to do it. But I'm not going to go for any downhill ones. I'm working in reviews. Yeah, I am. I've been a bit busy though, like with shit. So there you go. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it short tonight, lads, because it's like 10:20, and I've got to finish servicing my fucking crank, which is in bits at the moment. Yeah, actually, culture shock, mate. Right? All right, Steve. Julian. That's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point. Oh, we could do amazing descending. Do amazing descending, but just don't make it a competition. Because as soon as you make it a competition, then that's when accidents happen, isn't it? Yeah. Have I ridden anywhere else in East Asia? Yeah. I've ridden in South Korea. What was I saying? Yeah. I've got to put my crank back together. My Cannondale SISL2 crank started creaking on the left-hand side. It was always the left one that starts creaking for some reason. So I had to take it apart and all that sort of shit. Yeah, exactly, perhaps. Yeah, cutting corners. Yeah, exactly. Tom needs a bit of advice. Let's give Tom a bit of advice before I go. I'll give you 9 minutes of advice. Air quality in South Korea is not too bad. Air quality in China is awful. Need a bit of advice on a mid-level 11-speed chain to get for training. Done 915 and a 105 chain, and it's Ultegra. Get an Ultegra chain. They're good. Andrew Suzuki, yes, it is doing the job. It is doing the job. But those SISL2 cranks, because it's the axle is not bonded to the crank arm, they develop playing them over time, especially when you're stamping on it like I am. Yeah. So you have to take it apart, put it back together again with and clean it all out and put Wacos in it, and then do it up again with a torque wrench every, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. Yeah. But would I ever go bike packing? Nah, mate. I'm a bit of a creature comfort kind of guy, really. I like going out and banging out hard days, but I don't fancy slumming it. So that makes me sound like a cunt. But yeah. Yeah, all right, Oisin. See you later, Oisin. Yeah. Sorry, I got your name wrong. But there you go, that's your name now, sorry. Do I ever do any low cadence strength work? Not really. No, not really. Matt Potter, Dura Ace pedals are the absolute ultimate pedals of all time ever. If you buy Dura Ace pedals, you will not need to buy any more pedals again for a decade. I'm still running Dura Ace 7900 pedals. They are 2 generations old, Dura Ace pedals, right? I bought them in 2010, I think. May have even been 2009. So you can imagine how much riding I've done them. I've never had to service them. They're fucking brilliant. They are amazing. So Matt Potter, if you get Dura Ace pedals, they're the ultimate, they're the best pedals ever, right? Just get them. In fact, you don't even need to get the latest ones. If you can find like a cheaper set of like the old ones, like the 9000s or even the 7900s like I've got, fucking hell, just get them. Excuse me, just get them. Dura Ace pedals are the best. They are the best. They're unbelievable. Rocky Bar's not happy about it. Yeah, man. Justin, mate, I know what you're saying, Justin, mate, about staying at hotels, but I like to go home and do live streams and like edit videos and eat dried raisins from a bowl laying in bed. Yeah. Pratt's, man, yeah, look. When I first got into this YouTubing thing, right? And I was doing some market research of other guys who were doing it to see how I could like differentiate myself from the rest of them. And I think I managed to do that by just being a cunt. Like I saw that guy. Now, no disrespect to him as a person, right? I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I don't see why he's got 40,000 followers. Like, what's he doing? He doesn't really. He doesn't seem fit. Like he doesn't. He just sort of. He just walks around slowly and talks a little bit about bikes, doesn't he? Is that it? I mean, unless I'm missing something. And again, no disrespect to him. I'm sure he's cool, all right. And it's good that he's got loads of followers and that. But I don't know, man. I don't see what is it about. But what does he actually do? Like someone like Durian Ryder, you can see the appeal of him, right? You can see he's got like a what do you call it, modus operandi. He's got you know what he's about, don't you? He's about like veganism and getting everyone on their bikes, and you know what I mean. But I don't see what that cycling maven guy what it is. Like what is it? He used to win crits. He used to win crits, did he? He used to win races. He's got a big beer gut. What happened to him? He's a lifestyle vlogger. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Mad all that. Oh well. Right. Reality yeah. Man, your comments are coming fast. 55 people, that's good. Speaking of crits, where's Mike Critterus? I haven't seen him for a while. I wonder if he got his jersey I sent him. Has anyone heard from Mike Critterus? I sent that jersey a couple of weeks ago. I hope he's got it. He's a good sprinter. Is he? Yeah. He tried that Indian Pacific thing, didn't he? Yeah, man. All right, lads, listen, I've got to go now. I've got to go and sort my bike out. Otherwise, I've never been able to do more hilarious rides to talk to you about tomorrow. I was going to say, if I feel like it, is he sponsored by Canyon? What do you reckon? Do you reckon I could get sponsored by Canyon? If I'm feeling up to it tomorrow, if I feel all right, I'm going to go and check out that cult. I'm going to go and check out that fucking cult. See if I can get some video footage of those dudes. See if I can break in. See if I can get myself bloody kidnapped by a cult and see what happens. Sponsored by Rafa, fuck me. Oh, there's another one that I don't think I'll be getting sponsored by. Yeah. All right then, lads, that's it. I will see you on the flip side, unless I've been, kidnapped by a cult and, stabbed on an altar.